You're all aware what is dharma. Always remember that meaning you have to include in your work. Dharma means, comes from the word dri. Dri means to hold. We have to bind. Okay. So what do we hold? What do we bind? It means that we sustain. We bring people together, right? Even if you take the word dharma as religion, religion comes from the word religio. You have it in the notes, religio. It comes from the Latin word, which means to bind. So the purpose of religion is to bind people together. If a religion does not bind people together, so there is a problem somewhere, right? So here we are not focusing dharma as religion, but we'll focus mainly about righteousness, about virtues, right? So remember, well comes from the word dri, which means to hold or to sustain. The word dharma can be translated in English in many ways, like we said, religion, duty, ethical duty, virtue, religious duties, goodwill, so many ways we can translate dharma in English. In the Vedic literature, it is said this is to be remembered. This is important. You you can write that, especially when you're talking about satya and you're talking about dharma, truth and righteousness. This quote is from the Vedas. It is simple. Satyam vada dharmam chara. Vada means to say, to speak, to tell. Chara means to act, to do, to practice. So what are we supposed to do? We are supposed to say, to speak the truth, and we are supposed to act as per dharma, right? So always remember that. Satyam vada dharmam chara, you can use. Now, many scriptures, actually all the scriptures of the world which you can think about, talks about dharma. Whether it is from our religion, from the Hindu religion, from Christianity, from Islam, each religion speaks of dharma. Each scripture speaks of dharma, about dharma. So does Ramayana, the literature or the scripture, however you describe it, where Valmiki, who wrote the Ramayana, he explained dharma, of course, in various ways. You will get different explanation, perception about dharma, right? He says that in the Ramayana, Valmiki says that from dharma comes prosperity. And dharma is the fountainhead of joy. So if we need prosperity and joy, we have to follow dharma. Else, life won't be easy. Ram also has been described as the embodiment of dharma. We know that the ideal man, the ideal king, the ideal brother, always following dharma. And of course, in the Mahabharata, which we'll see in details also, talks about dharma. Mahabharata, it is in all the word dharma, right? Dharma or adharma for some. So Vedvyas, the one who wrote the Mahabharata, or sage Vyas, sage Ved Vyas, you can say also Usarma Vyas. He said that in the Mahabharata, Ahimsa Paramo Dharma. This is also easy to learn and quite impactful. You can use that for reformers as well. Ahimsa Paramo Dharma, that is the highest virtue that we have, is ahimsa, right? So virtue in terms of dharma. At times we think or we say, we ask the question, we say to follow dharma, but what to follow? Hinduism as the big umbrella, it embraces everything. We have different paths. Everyone has his or her own explanation, notion about dharma, right? For one, dharma can be speaking the truth. For the other, ahimsa can be dharma. For the other, let's say serving the parents may be dharma. No, we have different notion of dharma perception. So ahimsa paramo dharma. And in the Mahabharata, we have Gandhari, who is the mother, who was the mother of the Kaurav. She said that Yatho dharmas tato jayaha. Yato dharmas tato jayaha. That is, where there is dharma, there is victory. Jaya, jaya means victory. Where there is dharma, there is victory. No, it's obvious there will be victory there. In the Mahabharata war, why didn't the Kaurav win the battle of the Mahabharata? Because they were from the side of adharma. They were adharmic people, right? We'll discuss about whether Pandav also were going accordingly as per dharma or not. Of course, the Bhagavad Gita talks about dharma, okay? And this is the famous verse. I guess you know that, and you should know that actually. C'est un verse qui nous dit yada yada hi dharmasya, right? That is, whenever there is a decline in righteousness and a rise in unrighteousness, Krishna incarnates from age to age, from time to time he incarnates. Why does he incarnate? He incarnates to protect the good people and to destroy the evil ones. Right? So this verse is very important to learn. You may know the Sanskrit version, Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata. One line, 2 lines, you may know that. But in English, translation, the meaning in English, you should definitely know that. Yes. We continue. So we have been advised to accumulate dharma. Yeah. Why have we been advised to accumulate dharma? Because dharma will go with us. No one goes with us when we die. That no one will go with us, together with us. Apart from what we have, whatever good we have done with dharma, this will go with us, right? One other explanation here, that when you go to the cemetery, no one comes with you, so to kitnu wale, right? Only the dharma we have with us, which is going to determine our future birth or next birth or liberation, right? Now, I told you that older religions talk about dharma, so does Buddhism. Buddhism talks about the Eightfold Path. You have that, the Eightfold Path, which is in fact dharma. For example, one is right view. You need to have a right view. You need to have right speech. En d'autres mots, c'est dharma. So Tulsidas also in the Ramcharitmanas, just like Valmiki in the Ramayana, he has described dharma. Okay. And for him, how he described dharma, welfare of others is dharma. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna explained that as Loka Samgraha. Loka Samgraha. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna explains this thing, the welfare of others is dharma. Loka Samgraha, doing good for others, right? Can be in any way we do good. This is the meaning of the word religion, which I told you earlier. Now, Hinduism is a term given by the Western, the Europeans, right? But Hinduism was originally pretty called, yeah, it is still called, of course, Sanatan Dharma. Sanatan Dharma means the most ancient, religion, Sanatan, right? Sanatan can also mean the indestructible, something which has no beginning, which has no end, right? So the religion itself bears the name actually dharma. So dharma is given much importance in the Hindu religion. This is the full verse. If you can't remember, the last line is important. The last line. Dharmena hina pashubhi samana. Dharmena hina pashubhi samana. If we don't have dharma, if we don't follow dharma, we are like Saman Vidya, we are like Pashu. Pashu means animal, right? So if devoid of dharma, if we don't follow dharma, a man is an animal, right? This is from the Hitopdesh Upanishad. It is from the Hitopdesh Upanishad. This one, you should write it in your work. Now you know the four Purusharthas, Dharma, Artha, Kam, and Moksha. Artha, Kam, and Moksha, right? The first one is Dharma. The first aim of life is Dharma. So Dharma is placed the first. We never say Artha or Kam is placed the first. Moksha also cannot be placed the first. Mataki, it is a very positive thing, but you can't place Moksha the first because without Dharma, Moksha cannot be attained. Without Dharma, Artha and Kam cannot be attained. So the very first pillar, the very first step is Dharma, right? Now, we have the 6 enemies of man. The 6 enemies of man, Sikwa, Kam, that is sensual desires, Krodh, anger, Lobh, greed, Moha, attachment, Mada, arrogance, Matsara, hatred. These are the 6 enemies of man. And you will see that Kam form parts of the 6 enemies of man. Bhuta, calm is calm also forms part in the Purushartha, the aim of life, right? So what is the explanation behind, God, when he created us, he created with all those natural urges. We can't escape that. When observed rightfully, it is okay. Okay. When followed, observed rightfully, kama, it is good. For example, for procreation. But the same thing can become an enemy if it is not observed as per dharma. It can become an enemy of man, right? So we should not let calm become the enemy of man. How? To follow it according to dharma. We need to follow calm, observe calm according to dharma. In any ashram, we are brahmacharya ashram, grihastha ashram, vanprastha ashram, or the sannyas ashram. In any ashram that we are, we need to follow dharma. It can be various types of dharma, right? But we are following dharma. Or one of the example can be following, discharging the three debts. We have three debts. Tonyama, Rishirin, Rin Vijay debt. Rishirin debt to the seers. The seers, that is the sages, no? They have given us the scriptures, knowledge. We have a debt towards them. How to discharge this debt, how to pay this debt? By following, by reading, by following what they have given us, right? We have the Pitririn. Pitririn is the debt to ancestors. Many people say that the way to pay the debt to ancestors is to have children. It is one of it, but it's not really exactly you need to have children to pay that debt. But it is to give honor, respect, to honor people, to respect people, to follow the traditions of the family. No? This is the Pitririn. And then the Devrin. Devrin's a debt to God. You know, God has given us life. God gives us everything. So we have a debt towards him to pay, right? Some say that we can't pay the debt, maybe not 100%, right? But our aim should be trying to do that, okay? So dharma also stands for virtues, values, like we said, speaking the truth, forgiveness, faithfulness, compassion, mercy, loving everyone. No, these are examples of dharma. And Lord Buddha also emphasized on dharma throughout his life. He preached for 45 years. He practiced and he taught dharma as well. We have many other leaders also. You may take Mahatma Gandhi, Ram Mohan Roy, or any avatar also. Their aim has been to uplift the dharma, right? Now, nature does its part of dharma. No, nature does that part. You know, there is the rain, it irrigates everywhere. We get the food, the water cools everything. You know, it can be so hot, and then there is the rain. You feel very relaxed. You're thirsty, you drink the water, which makes us cool. That is, nature is doing its duty, right? Even the sun is doing its duty. What about man? What is the duty of man? The duty of man is what you call manav dharma. The dharma of man, the duty of man is to serve man and see God in man. To serve man and to see God in man. That is the utmost duty of man. Eventually, if we see God in someone, we are not going to hurt the person. Really normal. We are going to love the person. We are going to talk nicely to the person, right? There's an episode in the Mahabharata where Kunti, who was the mother of the Pandavas, she prayed to Krishna. Killing demand Krishna, she asked for problems in her life. She asked for sufferings. Why did she ask that? So that she would not forget God and she would not deviate from dharma. Okay, this is one way, maybe. So initially, I told you there are many ways of practicing dharma. It can be Stri Dharma, Manav Dharma, duty of a son, duty of a citizen of the country, so many things, right? The ultimate dharma to follow is, as Krishna said in the Bhagavad Gita, which is also one of the 9 forms of devotion, which is Atma Nivedana. Pas nécessaire d'écrire le terme Nivedana. Nivedana or Nivedanam. That is that is surrender. We surrender to God. Atma Nivedanam. We surrender, we take refuge in the Lord, in the feet of the Lord. It is dharma, the absolute dharma. We have also the swadharma in terms of in which varna you are, which caste you are, based on that, in which ashram you are. As per Gandhi, the main duty of dharma is to serve the community, whether we are from any varna, the duty is to serve, right? Krishna has stated in the Bhagavad Gita, if someone follows dharma, his dharma, swadharma, he attains perfection. Even if he dies while doing his dharma, he attains perfection. So dharma can be in terms of kula dharma. Kul is the family. You have some duties towards the family. Varna ashram dharma, society and individual. Varna, like which caste, no? If you are a Brahmin, your duty will be to impart knowledge. Ashram, in whichever ashram you are, you have a certain dharma. Rashtra dharma, the country that you live as a citizen, and Manav dharma. Right? These are the 10 principles of dharma which Ram, Krishna, everyone followed the 10 principles of dharma. Now, the big question, are we free to violate dharma? Some will say no, we cannot violate dharma. Why can't we violate dharma? Because if we violate dharma, there will be an outcome of that. And it will be a very, not a nice one, right? Duryodhan in the Mahabharata, he has said, I know what is dharma, but I'm unable to follow it. I know that dharma, I know what is adharma, still I cannot resist from doing it, right? So we have no right to violate dharma. Okay, we have no right. But some can say that we are free. Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita, he has said, we are free to act. You want to do a bad action, you do it, but beware of the consequence, right? So in other words, we should not violate dharma, because there is the law of karma here. As you sow, so shall you reap, right? This is a bit about dharma, right? A bit because we have lots of things about dharma. Coming to Krishna, what has Krishna done in the Mahabharata? His duty, his contribution to in the Mahabharata. There was his first appearance in the Mahabharata, where there was the Swayamvar of Draupadi, right? And there he helped the Draupadi to take a decision, because Karna wanted also to marry Draupadi, was about to go for the condition, to fulfill the condition to marry Draupadi. The condition was to hit in the eye of the fish, which was rolling on the roof, by looking at its reflection in the water down on the ground. That is very difficult. So Karna was about to do that, but Krishna told Draupadi, no, you have to stop it, because maybe you can say destiny. Arjun had to marry Draupadi, right? So this is the very first appearance of Krishna in the Mahabharata, where there was the Swayamvar of Draupadi, right? King Dhritarashtra, remember King Dhritarashtra, the father of Kauravas, right? They invited the Pandav and Draupadi to Hastinapur. After marriage, of course, they are already married. And they invited them. For what? They divided the kingdom. They divided the kingdom. Sakya Super comes, right? The Pandav got the whole kingdom. Sorry, Pandav, the Kaurav got the whole kingdom. They had everything. But what did the Pandav get? The Khandav Prasth. In some scripture, in some text, they say it is a desert. In some text, they say it is a forest, right? But they got the Khandav Prasth, right? And then with the help of Krishna, with the help of Maya, also with the help of Lord Agni, they built their kingdom there, which was even more beautiful than Hastinapur, Sikiban Kauravingay. And they called their kingdom Indraprasth, one Pandav's kingdom, Indraprasth. Then they performed, the Pandavas performed the Rajasuya sacrifice, where Krishna came there, where Krishna came in the Rajasuya sacrifice. And also Sri Krishna at Magad. Sri Krishna, he helped Bhim, to defeat Jarasandha, right? When now they were fighting, Bhim was equally powerful like Jarasandha. The way to kill Jarasandha was to tear his body into two parts and to throw them separately. So Krishna helped him in doing that, helped Kumasilin advise him how to kill Jarasandha, to tear his body and to throw them in opposite direction. That was the way to kill him. Now the question here is, as per the rule of a battle, of a fight, or of a competition, whatever, the audience is not supposed to utter or to say, to tell the participant, no, how to do the task. It is against the code of war. The intervention here of Krishna can be said, it can be justified by saying that Jarasandha was evil, Jarasandha was eradicated. Fine. But there is certain code also to be followed, right? So Sri Krishna became the guest of honor in the Rajasuya sacrifice, right, which he attended. And there he killed Shishupal. Shishupal's mother was a great devotee of Krishna. Krishna promised to his mother that he is going to forgive 100 mistakes of Shishupal. So Shishupal, he hated Krishna. When he saw Krishna in the Rajasuya sacrifice, he kept on insulting him. 100 times insults over. Calling insult him for the 101th time, Krishna killed him. Right? That is the intervention of Krishna.